It's partly cloudy, but the sun is still shining through those clouds, and it's hot as heck here at Kraft Field in Grand Forks, North Dakota for the matchup between the visiting 0-5 Sioux Falls Sunfish and the 4-2 home Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. Hello, fans. I'm David Coyer here live again from Kraft Field in Grand Forks, North Dakota. And it's a sunny day, it's warm, and it is time for Wheat City Whiskey Jacks and Sioux Falls Sunfish baseball live on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks live stream. After a tough loss for the Sunfish, a 14-5 loss, they're looking to bounce back, still looking for that first win of this inaugural 2021 season, while the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks are looking to extend their winning streak to 4 before tomorrow's series closer here from Grand Forks. Looking at the lineup, starting with the visiting Sioux Falls Sunfish. Leading off for the second game in a row, his second game of the season, JT Mix. He's going to be playing second base. Batting second, the designated hitter, Cade Kalehuavehi. He went 1 for 4 yesterday. Benito Garcia, the shortstop. He's batting third once again. And batting cleanup, Carter Tibbetts. He's been on a hot streak lately. Went 1 for 5 yesterday with a double. Zeph Hoffpower, he's playing first base after playing right field yesterday. Kenny Dutka back out in left field. He went 2 for 3 with a run and a double yesterday. Mitch Stroh, his second appearance as well. He's playing right field. And the new guy, Dylan Cricket Danielson, he's going to be starting at third base, batting eighth. And Adonis Forte rounds out the lineup. He's out in center field once again. So again, Mix, Kalehuavehi, Garcia, Tibbetts, Hoffpower, Dutka, Stroh, Cricket Danielson, and Forte for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. On the mound for the Whiskey Jacks this afternoon, Griffin Sheeran. Another new person in this lineup, this time on the Whiskey Jacks side. He's making his first appearance of the season. Play ball has been said, and the first pitch from Sheeran inside to Mix, and we are underway with a 7:03 start time in Grand Forks. It is 84 and partly cloudy. It's 84. It really feels like it's 90. The 1-0 pitch driven up the middle. That's going to be fielded by Sitzman at short. Fires it over to first, and one's away quickly here in Grand Forks.
Designated hitter, number 5, Cade Kalehuavehi.
Ethan Sitzman has been busy all series out there at shortstop. He makes easy work of that one. Drifted to his left, and a quick fire over to Jake Jelly. Brings up Cade Kalehuavehi. He went 1 for 4 last night with a walk and a strikeout. Going to look to be that first hit. He shows bunt. Takes a strike on the inside corner. He pulled back, but a called strike nonetheless. Griffin Sheeran from Minot State University. He was a freshman there this season, but he hails from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. The 1-1, or 0-1, was high. Now it's 1-1. The 6-foot righty had 3 appearances this season, pitched 2 2/3 innings, gave up 7 runs off 6 hits. The 1-1 driven to the left side, fielded by Bittner off the bounce, fires over to first, and Jelly can't dig it out. And that's going to allow Kalehuavehi to reach first.
Benito Garcia.
We'll see how that's scored. Don't think that's going to be an infield base hit. We'll see who they give the error to. So a good field by Dean Bittner over at third base, and the throw was pretty low, but still Jake Jelly was able to dig that one out, but he couldn't get a grab on it. We'll see what they give him. First pitch bounces in front of the plate to Benito Garcia for a quick ball. Benito Garcia 0 for 4 last night, but he did get on with a walk and ended up scoring. 6 walks on the season. We're giving that one an E5 for Kalehuavehi. The 1-0 high. Almost got away from Rhett Stein behind the plate. Defensively out in the outfield, you have Nolan Drill out in left. Houston Fogelstrom in center. He's been playing right field for most of the series. Now he's out in center. And the new man, Keelan Scanlon, is going to be out in right for the Whiskey Jacks. 2-0 to Garcia. He takes a strike on the inside corner. Very delayed strike call. With this umpire liking those inside pitches. 2-1. And on the infield, Dean Bittner at third base, Ethan Sitzman at second, Jake Jelly at first, and Zoe Hicks playing second base. She's made a few appearances this series. The 2-1 low, now 3-1 to Garcia. Behind the dish, Rhett Stein, and of course on the mound, Griffin Sheeran. He'll be going up against Sioux Falls righty Andrew Garcia, who made an appearance last week against Fremont. We'll dive into Garcia when the Sunfish are in the field. The pickoff attempt no good to first base, keeping Kalehu Avehi honest. Kalehu Avehi only 2 stolen bases on the season. But the Sunfish becoming a lot more aggressive in this Wheat City series. Another pickoff attempt. Not in time. So 14-5 the final score last night between the two teams. That's the second time this season the Sunfish have allowed 14 runs. They allowed a big 7-run first inning. Pitch driven to left side. That's going to be a fair ball. Kalehu Avehi rounds second as the ball rolls up to the wall. He's going to round third. He's heading home. Garcia on second. The throw in not in time. And Kalehu Avehi scores on the Benito Garcia RBI double.
Catcher, number 2, Caleb Tibbetts.
A liner right down the third base line. That rolled all the way to the wall. And 2 quick guys on the base paths. Garcia gets into second easily, and there was really no throw to the plate. It was just got into the infield from Drill to Bittner. And the Sunfish are up 1-0 early. And that brings up Carter Tibbetts, who's been having a heck of a season for the Sunfish. He takes a pitch on the inside corner, strike 1. 1 for 5 last night with a double. That was his 3rd double of the season, which is tied for 2nd in the Expedition League. And he follows Benito Garcia, who just had a double of his own. Pitch in the dirt, gets away from Stein, but bounces. He keeps it in front of him, but rolls almost out to the pitcher's mound. Evens the count at 1-1. Garcia's double marks the 15th double of the season. The Sunfish coming in with 14 into today's contest. That was 2nd in the Expedition League. That 15th ties the lead. The 1-1. Swung on, driven high, shallow center field. Backing up is Sitzman. Camps under it for out number 2.
The first baseman, number 7.
So now 15 doubles, 3 of those from Tibbetts. But he pops up to Ethan Sitzman, who carried all the way back in the shallow center field from shortstop. That brings up Zeph Hoffpower. Hoffpower 2 for 4 last night and had a walk and a run. Benito Garcia out at second, a moderate lead. Again, quick on the base pass. He'll steal third if you let him. Hoffpower, first pitch swinging deep into right center field. Coming in is Scanlon. He dives and can't come up with it. Garcia rounds third, heads home. And so an RBI 2-out single for Zeph Hoffpower.
Left fielder, number 1, Kenneth Dutka.
A ball driven into right center field. A tough play for Scanlon. He had to run in on it. He made the dive and couldn't come up with it, and that brings up Kenny Dutka. He's first pitch swinging, fouls that one to the left backstop for strike number 1. Dutka 2 for 3 last night with a double of his own. He scored and also had a walk. A .500 on-base percentage for Dutka, tied with Carter Tibbetts for the lead on this Sunfish team. Hoffpower at first. The 0-1 hits the inside corner for strike 2. Dutka, one of the most efficient hitters on this team, a .500 on-base percentage and a .733 slugging. He has one of the 2 home runs on this squad with Carter Tibbetts. The 0-2, pitch high, outside, ball 1. So Sheeran has already given up 2 hits and 2 runs in today's game. Again, this season he gave up 7 runs off 6 hits at Minot State. The 1-2 hits Dutka. Hit him right in the ankle. It looked like a breaking ball, and that's going to put a runner on first and second with 2 outs.
The right fielder, number 19, Mitch Stroh.
Doesn't matter how you get on base, and for Dutka, he was good at it. Gets on half the time, and that's going to put him just above half with a hit by pitch. Mitch Stroh making his second appearance of the season. He was one of the 2 Augustana guys to come in yesterday, himself and JT Mix. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. First pitch to Stroh, low and away. So an early 2-0 lead for the Sioux Falls Sunfish here in the top of the first. They've only ever had the lead twice this season, and that was last Wednesday against the Fremont Moo. Fastball right down the middle, 1-1. They had a couple leads against the Moo early on before the Moo took a lead in the bottom of the third. And then Saturday against Wheat City, had a brief lead in the top of the inning when Wheat City ended up coming back and tying it up at 4 apiece. The 1-1 high, 2-1. So after a 3-up, 3-down first inning yesterday, and then allowing 7 in the bottom half of the inning, the Sunfish on top early, 2-0. Runners on first and second in the form of Zeph Hoffpower and Kenny Dutka, respectively. Mitch Stroh at the plate, 2-1, hits him. Back-to-back hit batters for Griffin Sheeran, and that's going to load the bases now with 2 outs.
Third baseman, number 20, Dylan Cricket Danielson.
So Mitch Stroh, who had gone 1 for 4 yesterday, is now on first base, and that's going to lead to an early mound visit by Wheat City Whiskey Jacks head coach Robbie Laughlin. So for those of you just joining us, it's the top of the first. The Sioux Falls Sunfish hold an early 2-0 lead over the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. There's 2 outs and the bases are loaded. JT Mix led this one off for the Sunfish. He grounded out to shortstop. Cade Kalehuavehi reached on an E5 and was driven in by Benito Garcia on an RBI double. Carter Tibbetts flew out, and then Zeph Hoffpower singled, which scored Garcia. And then Kenny Dutka and Mitch Stroh have each just been hit by a pitch. And now the bases are loaded. 2 outs. The meeting at the mound breaks. 2 runs off 2 hits, 1 error so far in the top of the first. And that's going to bring up Dylan Cricket Danielson, the third baseman from Oral Roberts University, ORU. Now, some can argue that they are a baseball school, which they've been very successful in their history, but this year I think it's not hard to argue that they were a basketball school. First pitch to Danielson, swung on and missed. Of course, the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles winning the Summit League Basketball Championship, making it to March Madness, and making it all the way to the Sweet 16. Upsetting the likes of Florida and Ohio State along the way. The 0-1 pitch at the knees for a strike. But Danielson, the 6'2 righty, from Marshall, Minnesota. Had 6 games played, 3 at-bats this season with the Golden Eagles. They were beaten in the Summit League Championship by the North Dakota State Bison. The 0-2 breaking ball misses outside, 1-2. So Danielson joined us earlier than he probably had hoped. The Bison drawing number 9 Stanford in their first game in the college regional that they are in. Bases loaded, 2 outs, the 1-2, low and away, count even at 2 apiece. Sunfish, 2-0 lead here in the top of the first. Zeph Hoffpower on third. Kenny Dutka on second, and Mitch Stroh on first. 2 outs, the 2-2. Swung on, popped high and out of play behind us in the press box. Over the netting into the stands. So Danielson had an RBI, a strikeout. His 1 RBI came off of a sac fly in his 6 games played. Only had 3 at-bats. Before Oral Roberts, he was at North Iowa Area Community College. The 2-2 swung on and missed. The breaking ball fooled him. So once again, the Sioux Falls Sunfish leave the bases loaded, but not before 2 cross. It's 2 runs off 2 hits, 1 error, 3 left on base as we head into the bottom of the first. Two nothing Sunfish over the Whiskey Jacks after 1/2 inning played. And as we head into the bottom of the first, we'll take a look through the Wheat City order. Ethan Sitzman leads off playing shortstop. Rhett Stein batting second. He's going to be followed by designated hitter Caleb McDowell. Jake Jelly batting cleanup once again. He's been over at first base. Dean Bittner batting fifth, followed by Nolan Drill. Houston Fogelstrom batting seventh. Keelan Scanlon is batting eighth, and Zoe Hicks is batting ninth. First pitch from Sunfish pitcher Andrew Garcia misses for a ball. Garcia, this is his second appearance. He started a week ago today against the Fremont Moo. Fastball right down the middle, driven to the right side, picked up by Mix, fired over to first for out number one.
The catcher, number 22, Rhett Stein.
Garcia, 2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout in his last outing. That ended up being the 14-3 loss to the Moo, where the Sunfish scored their 3 runs early. First pitch to Rhett Stein, a half swing and miss for strike one. Stein 2 for 4 last night. He was very active, scored twice, had an RBI, a strikeout, a hit by pitch, and 2 stolen bases. Swung on and missed a fastball. Foul tipped, actually. A late foul tip call. 2-0 Sunfish here in the bottom of the first. Garcia winds and delivers. A fastball. Got him! 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Rhett Stein not happy with that one. But Andrew Garcia gets his first strikeout of the day, and he got Stein looking. 2 up, 2 down for Garcia. The Downey, California native is looking a lot calmer than he was last week against Fremont. Brings up Caleb McDowell. Breaking ball hits for strike 1. McDowell not happy with that call at all. Tibbetts dropped it and it rolled away, and maybe that's what McDowell was thinking, that he couldn't even get a hold on it. That was definitely low, but it was called a strike. Jammed him, fouled out of play, and McDowell's down 0-2 quickly. McDowell 2 for 5 last night, another active guy on base paths, 2 stolen bases. He scored twice and had an RBI. The 0-2. Fastball blew it by him. 3 up, 3 down. 6 pitches to Stein and McDowell, only 2 to Sitzman. Garcia wheeling and dealing, and after 1 full, it's 2-0 Sunfish.
2-0. It's blowing now.
Back in Grand Forks, the Sioux Falls Sunfish with the early 2-0 lead over the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. Cade Kalehuavehi got the scoring going off of the RBI double by Benito Garcia. Garcia ended up scoring off of the single by Hoffpower. So 2 runs off 2 hits, 1 error in the top of the first for the Sunfish, and 3 up, 3 down for the Whiskey Jacks as Andrew Garcia is looking like he has his stuff back after just a short 2-inning outing against Fremont last week. Adonis Forte leads it off for the Sunfish. 2 for 4 with an RBI and a stolen base. He had a very long single that he advanced to second on the throw yesterday. Takes a strike on the inside corner. I was talking to Adonis before the game today, and he's like, "Did you see that hit I had yesterday?" I'm just, "Which one?" He's like, "The one that hit the 375," and he did. He hit the 375 marker on the fly, a little bit higher, and I think it would have gone over. He takes a ball outside. A lot of the Sunfish have been saying that this park plays big. That's how they were describing it to me. And last night it proved it off of that Forte hit. It was a long, long single. Takes a chop at 1. That goes out of play for strike number 2. Because Kenny Dutka and Mitch Stroh were both on. Or Bobby Funk, rather, and Kenny Dutka. And neither of them knew where the ball, if it was landing or if it was going over, so no one was really running, and only 1 run scored off of it. The 1-2 pitch to Forte, chopped foul again. So Forte ended up getting on. It was scored a single, and then he advanced to second on the throw in to third base. And he was frustrated that he had just missed that one. The 1-2 bounces in front of Forte for ball number 2, and that bounces all the way back to this glass right in front of us. But when Forte gets on, he had a stolen base last night, which was his 4th of the season. And as I was talking about in the first inning, the Sunfish have become much more aggressive on the base paths. 2-2 to Forte. Fastball in the dirt. It's a full count. But the aggressiveness has slightly been helping. Last night, the 5 runs scored was the most for the Sunfish this season, whose 20 coming in today's game is the least in the Expedition lead. A chopper to the right side. Hicks stabs, fires, and that's out number 1.
Second baseman, JT Mix.
Zoe Hicks hasn't gotten many ground balls to her in her starts over at second. She started back on Saturday and now making her second start of the series. In fact, on Saturday, she only had 1 ground ball over to her the entire game. And it was all the way back in the 4th inning on a 5-3 putout from Zeph Hoffpower. We're back to the top of the lineup with JT Mix. He shows bunt, gets it down the third base line. He's running over, charging his Bittner. Bittner's not going to be able to make a play. And a bunt gets JT Mix on for the first runner of the inning. All base runners have come with 1 out in this game. This time on a bunt single from JT Mix. He grounded out in his last at-bat, and it was Cade Kalehuavehi who reached with 1 out in the top of the first. 2-0 Sunfish here with 1 out in the top of the second. Mix on first. Kalehuavehi steps up. He reached on an E5. Takes a pitch at the knees for strike 1. The sun's still high in the sky, shining down. It's partly cloudy here in Grand Forks. The 0-1 to Kalehuavehi. A fastball at the knees again for strike 2, and Stein popped up and threatened to throw down to first base. JT Mix was taking a secondary lead, but no throw. Mix with a liberal lead over at first. Pickoff attempt, no good. Again, it's roughly 85 here, and I think on turf it probably cooks the temperature up maybe a good 5 or 8 degrees. Pickoff attempt again, not in time. 1 out. JT Mix had reached on his bunt single, and Kalehuavehi has an 0-2 count. Pickoff attempt again. They're really scared that Mix is going to go. And with the lead he has, I wouldn't be surprised if he did. No wind here at Kraft Field. The flag motionless. Pickoff attempt again. That one a lot closer. Tag on the lower half of Mix. And Griffin Sheeran trying to keep him honest at first. The 0-2. Sheeran delivers high for ball 1. So the Sunfish scoring early in the first off the Cade Kalehuavehi. He reached with an E5, was driven in by Benito Garcia's double. And Garcia driven in by Zeph Hoffpower's 2-out single to put the Sunfish up 2-0. The 1-2. Swung on, and that's stabbed out of the air by Jake Jelly, who takes 1 step over and tags first for the inning-ending double play. So a series of unfortunate events for the Sunfish as Cade Kalehuavehi lines out to Jelly, and JT Mix gets doubled up as he was heading over to first base. It's still 2-0 as we head into the bottom of the second. The Sunfish lead. Tibbetts fires down to second, and we are ready to go in the bottom of the second. The Sioux Falls Sunfish hold a 2-run lead over the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks.
First baseman, number 32.
And Jake Jelly, the big first baseman who ended that top of the second with a line-out grab, and he stepped on first to double up Kalehuavehi, or JT Mix, rather. Leads it off for the Whiskey Jacks, the big man. If you had bingo cards last night, I think he crossed off every box for you by himself. He drakes the first pitch into left field. Dutka giving chase. That's going to bounce. And Jelly, who takes a hard round around first, that's only where he's going to have to stop for a leadoff single. First pitch single for Jake Jelly. But Jake Jelly last night, 2 for 4, 3 runs, a triple, an RBI, a strikeout, a walk, and a stolen base. So if you were keeping baseball bingo last night, again, Jake Jelly was your friend. And he has a leadoff single for the first hit of the game for the Whiskey Jacks, and that brings up Dean Bittner. First pitch to Bittner, fastball inside for a ball. Bittner, less success last night than Jelly. 1 for 5, a run, a strikeout, but he did have a stolen base as well. 16 stolen bases on the season. The pickoff attempt to first. Just a lob by Garcia just to make sure Jelly's staying close and not trying to swipe that base. 16 stolen bases on the season. 8 of those came last night for the Whiskey Jacks. Another pickoff attempt. This one fired over. Still not in time. Rhett Stein, Caleb McDowell, and Nolan Drill each had 2, and then Bittner and Jelly, the other 2 for the Whiskey Jacks. Most coming in the first inning. Fastball misses inside, 2-0. So after a quick 8-pitch inning to start the bottom of the first, Garcia has come to settle in, and the Whiskey Jacks are taking a few more pitches. Fastball misses high, 3-0. A leadoff single by Jake Jelly off the first pitch, and now 3 straight balls to Dean Bittner. Bittner batting .182 on the season. Pickoff attempt at first, no good. Bittner from Phoenix, Arizona, so the heat not bothering him. It is a bit humid, and Phoenix is more of a dry heat, and Garcia walks him on 4 straight pitches.
Left fielder, number 7, Nolan Drill.
So after a 3-up, 3-down inning for Andrew Garcia in the first inning, he's allowed the first 2 batters to reach on a single and a walk here in the bottom of the second. Nolan Drill, the left fielder, steps up with 1 runner in scoring position. No outs. 2-0 Sunfish lead. He takes a fastball high and inside for ball 1. Carter Tibbetts giving a quick reassuring, hey, let's calm down a little bit to Andrew Garcia. Drill last night, 2 for 4, scored 3 of the Whiskey Jacks' 14 runs. Garcia steps off, asks for the signs again. 2 runs on the board, only for the Sunfish tonight. No Whiskey Jacks have crossed yet. Breaking ball hits the zone for the first strike of the inning. 3 runs, a walk, and he was one of those 3 with 2 stolen bases last night. And that one of which came in that 7-run first inning for the Whiskey Jacks. 7 runs in the first, 3 in the second for an early 10-0 lead. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball hits again, 1-2. So 10 runs early on, and the Sunfish started tacking on a few of their own before 4 came late off of Jacob Glovich. 1-2. Popped high into shallow right field. Coming in is Stroh, makes the catch. No tags are happening. The throw into Garcia at short. That's actually going to go all the way to third to Dylan Cricket Danielson. But Stroh retires the first batter of the inning with a pop fly to shallow right field. Houston Fogelstrom. I'm saying his name right tonight. Yesterday I kept saying Hunter, and I even had written down Hunter. And Hunter Fogelstrom sounds like a pretty cool name as well, but that's not Houston's name. He went 1 for 4 last night out of right field. Tonight he's playing center. 1 out, first pitch, breaking ball in the opposite batter's box. That bounces, but Tibbetts makes the stop. Runners stay. Jake Jelly with his leadoff single, now at second from the walk from Dean Bittner. 2-0 Sioux Falls Sunfish still lead over the Whiskey Jacks. The 1-0. Popped high to the right side, drifting his off power. Can he make a grab? He's up against the fence, and no, he can't. So the count even at 1 apiece. No stolen bases yet for the Whiskey Jacks. These their first 2 runners in the form of Jelly and Bittner. So if Jelly swiped third, that'd be the first stolen base of the night. Pitch misses low, 2-1. Again, last night, 8 stolen bases. That rivals the Fremont move from opening night, who had 8 against the Sunfish as well. 4 of which came from the speedy Tyler Push. Last night it was a little more spread out. Pitch driven high behind the backstop. Tibbetts giving chase, but that one's going to go out of play over the left side. That hit the stands. Count even at 2 apiece. But 16 stolen bases, good for 4th in the Expedition League for the Whiskey Jacks. Fremont Moo hold the lead in that category. They've also played a couple more games. Garcia checks. Dean Bittner stays put at first base, and we have 2 away in the bottom of the second. Kellen Scanlon making his first appearance of the game as Carter Tibbetts steps out in front of home, gives the signs to his infield. Scanlon, pardon me, from Seattle, Washington. He's out in right field today, making his first appearance as a Whiskey Jack this season. 5'9", 185. He takes the first pitch, a strike. From the University of Portland. Did not make an appearance this season out there, so this is his first at-bat, I'm assuming, since high school. Out in Seattle. 4-year varsity letter there. Runner goes to second. Tibbetts can't find the ball. No matter, he probably wasn't going to make a throw down anyway. So Bittner swipes the base, and the Whiskey Jacks now hold 2 in scoring position. Jelly on third, Bittner now on second. 2 outs, 1-1 count from Garcia. The pitch, high and inside for a ball. So Scanlon, a Metro League All-League first-team pitcher and outfield in his junior year of high school. He was also the Ballard High School team MVP that season, the 2-1. Swung on, hitting center field. Forte is there for out number 3. So the Whiskey Jacks strand 2 off of 1 hit, no errors, no runs. And the Sunfish still lead 2-0 after 2 from Grand Forks.
Score 0 runs on 1 hit and no
The Sioux Falls Sunfish still hold their 2-0 lead over the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks as we head into the top of the third inning. Benito Garcia, in his last at-bat, he had an RBI double and ended up scoring. He drove in Cade Kalehuavehi. So Garcia is responsible for 2 of the runs scored. One in the form of an RBI, the other himself. He takes the first pitch inside for a ball. In the coaches' boxes tonight for the Sunfish, at third, assistant coach Lane Hovde, and at first, Tyler Olmstead. He made his first coaching appearance last night. Garcia takes a fastball on the inside corner for a strike. Olmstead just finished up his playing career at South Dakota State University with the Jackrabbits. They were eliminated in the Summit League tournament. A ball to Garcia makes the count 2-1. But before Olmstead got here, usually Coach Hovde was at first base and skipper Walker Bullington was at third. And now with the appearance of Olmstead, we see Walker just in the dugout. 2-1, high for ball 3. I wonder how it gets decided which coaches go where, if it's just a preference thing or if the head coach is just like, you two go out there or I'll go out there, because now Walker's in the dugout as Garcia takes a ball in the dirt for ball 4. He reaches base for the second time today.
Carter Tibbetts.
Brings up Carter Tibbetts, who flew out to shallow center field, but to Ethan Sitzman, the shortstop. Because for the Sunfish, you got Bullington in the dugout, and you got Olmstead and Hovde at first and third, respectively. Garcia not with a strong lead at first. Fastball hits the lower half of the zone for strike 1. Tibbetts asking where that one hit and gets a nice explanation, nods in agreement. But head coach Robbie Laughlin of the Whiskey Jacks, he coaches third. So you got one manager who likes to be in the dugout, the other one likes to coach third. I wonder if it's just a preference thing. Another pitch hits the lower half of the zone for strike 2. This umpire really liking those low pitches, those just below the knees, so we know where the strike zone is tonight. And he's been consistent with it. The 0-2 pitch to Tibbetts. Sheeran keeps checking over at first. Tibbetts finally calls time. Garcia not taking too sizable of a lead over there, but he is quick. He has 4 stolen bases, which leads the Sunfish. No outs, runner on first. The 0-2 bounces in the dirt, 1-2. Well, it's always with the 3 coaches for these teams. 2 coaches, obviously, you have to have both the coaches out there, which is what Walker was doing before. But with 3, I wonder if it's more of a preference thing. For a team I used to work with in the Northwoods League, our manager would go out to third every once in a while. He'd never coach first, just third. Garcia dancing at first, draws the pick off. No good. Sometimes you'd see, his name is Travis Acree, who's the skipper for the Lakeshore Chinooks of the Northwoods League. He'd be out at third occasionally, but then other times you'd see more of the pitching and hitting coach. Might have to talk to Walker about that. Maybe we'll see an appearance. Chopper down the third base line, a very defensive swing by Tibbetts. Count still at 1-2. One thing I know, though, is Coach Hovde and Coach Olmstead are camera shy. Asked them if they want to do the pregame interview that I usually do with Coach Bullington, post on Twitter. Neither of them wanted to, and Walker was adamant that at some point during the season, the 2 of them are going to make a Twitter appearance on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Twitter page. Garcia taunting at first base. He doesn't go. Breaking ball misses in the outer batter's box. Count even at 2 apiece. Stein asks for a new ball. He's granted it. And Sheeran, after having a 0-2 count on Tibbetts to start off the at-bat, is now even the count up at 2 apiece. The 2-2 swung on, fouled, out of play. Still even. 2-0 Sunfish over the Whiskey Jacks. Those 2 runs coming in the top of the first. 3 hits in today's contest for Sioux Falls. A double by Benito Garcia and a single by Hoffpower, and then a bunt single by JT Mix in the second. Garcia about 5 steps off first base. The 2-2 fouled to the backstop. Tibbetts taking a lot of defensive swings, staying alive. He's good at drawing those walks, has 7 of them on the season. So if he can get this from an 0-2 and turn it into a walk, that'll bring his on-base percentage back up to .500 after flying out in his last at-bat. 2-2. Breaking ball misses high. Fired down from Stein to first. Tag not in time. Garcia again. He's going as the ball gets away. Never mind. He started taking off as the throw from Jelly back to Sheeran got by him. Sheeran puts his hands up, looking at Stein. Not sure what that was about. But the throw from Jelly got by Sheeran, rolled all the way over to Bittner, and Garcia had the opportunity to go to second, but decided not to take it. The 3-2 swung on and missed by Tibbetts. Fought all the way back and ended up striking out.
It is $1 off beer for the remainder of this half inning.
Zeph Hoffpower now up to bat for Sioux Falls. As mentioned before, he singled in his last at-bat. Tibbetts with his 4th strikeout of the season there. Brings the out count to 1 in the top of the third. Garcia dancing. He's picked off. He's now in a rundown. Heads back to first. The throw from Sitzman over to Sheeran at first. Garcia now heading to second. He stops, head back to first. Hicks now with the ball. She fires to Jelly. Garcia still dancing. He's still alive, but he's tagged by Sitzman. But the ball comes out. Out call was made. We're going to see what happens now that the ball came out. Coach Walker Bullington is coming out talking to the home plate umpire, see if he can get an appeal there. So what happened was Garcia was running back and forth. He now swipes third. Time is now called. Time was not officially called. The umpires are going to have a meeting. So what happened, Garcia was dancing back and forth. He was about 3/4 of the way to second base, where he tried falling down and getting out of the tag of Sitzman. Sitzman went to apply the tag. We're not sure when the ball popped out. Out still remains the call as Garcia is caught stealing. Coach Bullington is now talking to the field umpire. I don't think it's in a friendly way. He shrugs as the argument was going nowhere. 2 outs now after Garcia was caught on the pickoff and the rundown. Again, the Sitzman had the tag and it was in time. Garcia was nowhere near the bag, but it depends on if the ball fell out with the tag or before the tag. Hoffpower first pitch swinging, drifting to the right side, and that's going to be out of play. Because the tag was applied, couldn't see if the ball was in full control, but out was called, and we're 2 away in the top of the third. Sunfish still hold a 2-0 lead. The 0-1 bounces in front of the left-handed batter's box. Doesn't hit Hoffpower. He's a righty. Count even at 1 apiece. Alex Shoemaker and Chad Williams, the umpiring crew throughout this entire series in Wheat City. Both the 2 games on Friday and Saturday, and then the 3 games yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Pitch high and inside. A fastball almost hits Hoffpower in the face, but he ducks out of the way. 2-1. The Sunfish hold the 2-0 lead, and they're still looking for their first win of the season. They're 0-5 after dropping 3 so far to Wheat City. Hoffpower drives out the left side. Fire from Bittner at third. He made the nice diving stop, and Jelly stretches to get the out.
The Sunfish scores.
So 3 up, 3 down after the Benito Garcia leadoff walk. He was caught stealing. The strikeout by Tibbetts. And Hoffbauer grounds out to third. 3 up, 3 down. It's still 2-0 as we head into the bottom half of the third.
Is hosting a crayon drive benefiting local children's hospitals.
Andrew Garcia enters his third inning of work. This will officially be his longest outing if he can record that first out. Garcia only went 2 against the Moo on last Wednesday, so a week between his 2 outings. And his first batter of the inning is Zoe Hicks, second baseman. She's 0 for 9 on the season, 2 RBIs, both of those RBIs against the Sunfish. First pitch to her, a fastball, misses high for a ball. She's struck out 3 times, still searching for that first hit in the Expedition League. The first female to play in the Expedition League is Hicks. She swings through a fastball for strike 1. Hicks from Manitoba, Canada. She just finished up a softball season at Louisiana Tech, so from north of North America north of the United States, not North America. She takes a strike, count now at 1 and 2. But north of the USA to South USA for Hicks. The 1-2. Fastball at the knees. She strikes out looking. She was playing with the dirt as she thought that was low, and she didn't. That was such a late strike 3 call that she was not all too happy with that one, as that's her 4th strikeout of the season. First out in the bottom of the 3rd for the Whiskey Jacks. Brings us to the top of the order, Ethan Sitzman, who grounded out to JT Mix. Garcia winds and delivers. Fastball high for ball 1. Sitzman had 3 walks last night. Quickly 0 for 1 in today's game. Takes that pitch high to the right side. Hoffbauer can camp underneath it for out number 2.
Catcher, Rhett Stein.
Ethan Sitzman has only seen 4 pitches today. He had 1 in his first at-bat before grounding to Mix, and that one he took a ball before popping out to Hoffbauer. 2 away in the bottom of the 3rd, and Rhett Stein, who struck out looking, takes a ball low and away. Stein, 3 straight pitches, 3 straight strikes, and the 3rd strike was somewhat low, but just nicked the lower part of the zone, and Stein was not too happy with it in his last at-bat. A check swing gets a piece of it, but fouls it to the Sunfish dugout for strike 1. 5 straight batters put away from Garcia, dating back to that 2nd inning. He let the first 2 get on and then retired 3 straight. Breaking ball misses low, 2-1. 2 flyouts to right, 1 to center, and then a strikeout looking and a flyout to the 3rd baseman are the 5. Garcia shakes off 1, nods, the 2-1. Fastball right down the middle, 2-2. Stein asking where that one was again. I think this umpire's been fairly consistent, not liking the high pitches, favoring the low. 2-0 Sunfish. The 2-2. Fastball, got him. Back-to-back strikeouts looking. Stein has a couple words for the umpire. Again, he shakes his head as he walks back to the dugout. 3 up, 3 down for the Whiskey Jacks, and it's still 2-0 Sunfish after 3.
Yep.
Griffin Sheeran is officially no longer in the game after 3 innings pitched. He allowed just 3 hits, 2 runs. Neither of them were earned. Kalehu reached on the E5, and Garcia drove him in on the double. So no runs earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts for Sheeran in his first Expedition League appearance, and Jack Moffitt takes the mound for the Whiskey Jacks. His first batter faced, Kenny Dutka. He takes a pitch outside, ball 1. So the Sunfish still lead 2-0 here in the top of the 4th. Moffitt misses high and away, 2-0. During his warm-ups, a couple pitches were thrown to the backstop wild. So hopefully Moffitt can try and find that control. The 2-0 to Dutka. Changeup hits the inside corner, 2-1. Moffitt, the righty from Seattle, Washington, he stands a whopping 6'7". Breaking ball misses high, 3-1. Just made 1 appearance this season. Only a 3rd inning pitched. Gave up 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 hits. Pitch misses away. Dutka draws the leadoff walk.
Right field.
So 3 straight innings of leadoff runners for the Sunfish. A bunt, or correction actually, just back-to-back leadoff walks. Forgot Adonis Forte led off the top of the 2nd. He's the 9-hitter, and I was just looking at JT Mix's bunt single. So Kenny Dutka draws the leadoff walk after Garcia had his. Garcia caught in the rundown and got picked off. Mitch Stroh takes a fastball right down the middle for strike 1. Dutka taking a sizable lead. No stolen bases yet for the Sunfish in today's matchup. Moffitt out of the stretch. Breaking ball misses outside, 1-1. Jack Moffitt. He got bored like the rest of us during quarantine last summer with COVID. Fastball right down the middle, strike 2. And instead of just sitting around watching TV, getting bored, he decided he wanted to go viral. So we started making trick shot videos, posting them on TikTok, posting them on social media, got a following. Dutka goes, chopper down the third base line, it's going to be foul. The chopper from Mitch Stroh, it was just going down the third base line. Bittner took a stab at it in foul territory, but Dutka was off on the pitch. Let's see if he goes again. But Moffitt did some trick shots with his sisters, posted them on TikTok, and he got a pretty sizable following. Took him a couple attempts each time. Breaking ball misses outside 2-2. And, trick shots are cool to watch when you're just, bored at home, especially during quarantine. Everyone remembers how boring quarantine was. Dutka goes 2-2, swung on and missed by Stroh. The throw very low and bounces to second base. So Dutka swipes the first base for the Sunfish. No strike him out, throw him out, but Mitch Stroh does strike out for out number 1. And Dylan Cricket Danielson, who struck out himself in the first inning to end the first inning, left the bases loaded for the Sunfish. The only 3 runners left stranded this game. First pitch swung on and missed for strike 1. This season, the Sunfish, 58 runners left on base, 8 last night. That was just their first game with single-digit runners left on base this season. The 0-1 breaking ball swung on and missed. Cricket Danielson down 0-2 quickly. So Kenny Dutka out in scoring position. Doesn't want to add to that left on base total. He's taking a sizable lead. No one covering. Sitzman drifting over to second. He's just taunting. The 0-2 swung on and missed. Climbed the ladder, did Moffitt. And Cricket Danielson falls for back-to-back strikeouts.
Center fielder
2 away. 2-0 lead Sunfish. 2 outs, runner on second. Cade Kalehu of Ahi reached on an E5 back in the first. Was driven in on the Benito Garcia double. Garcia was driven in by Hoffpower for the early 2-0 lead. Adonis Forte grounded out to second. Ball bounces in the dirt. Dutka doesn't go. Stein stopped it, but couldn't find it. He thought he got by him and was walking around, and he had perfectly stopped it underneath his glove. Forte has started every game for this Sunfish lineup. He's from Omaha, Nebraska. Pitch misses the outside corner, 2-0. Southeast Missouri State University didn't play this year at SEMO. He was just a freshman. But in high school, he was an honorable mention Class A All-State selection at Omaha Central. He's been one of the consistent hitters for the Sunfish. He takes a breaking ball high and away, 3-0. Forte batting .300 coming into today's game. 2 doubles, 4 stolen bases. He's shown his speed out in center field and on the base paths. The Sunfish wearing their all grays today. 4 pitches, 4 balls to Fortes. He trots down to first base. Runners now on first and second with 2 away.
Second baseman, JT Mix.
JT Mix, who had that bunt single with 1 away in the second. The All Grays, or the 50 Shades of Gray, as I think they are soon to be referred as. The gray hats with the orange trim, a different gray jersey, and the gray pants with the black trim down the side. First pitch. Check swing. I think that was called a ball. No call. Looked like it might have hit the inside corner, but the check swing by Mix brings the count to 1-0. But the jerseys have the teal sleeve on the right sleeve and the orange one on the left. 1-0. Fastball hits the outside corner. 1-1. And then across the chest, orange Sioux on the right chest, teal Falls on the left, with orange numbers just below Falls on the left side as Moffitt steps off. The Whiskey Jacks, white pants, black trim down the side, baby blue jerseys, white numbers, and then on the hat, baby blue hat with a darker blue brim. Dark blue sleeves as well for Wheat City. Pitch misses high and inside 2-1. Sunfish with the 2-0 lead in the top of the fourth. Still partly cloudy in Grand Forks. Slight wind looking at the trees, and the flag's starting to move a little bit. It looks like it's blowing out to left center. Not very strong. The 2-1. Chopped at. Foul out of play. Count even at 2 apiece for JT Mix. Mix and Mitch Stroh, who struck out in this inning, the two Augustana players who have recently joined the Sunfish. Their teammate Will Olson, who's a catcher, who's on that Augustana crew, will be joining the Sunfish next week. Moffitt steps off again. I think maybe there's some confusion with the signs. He gets back on. No one covering at first, so Forte, very liberal lead. Dutka at second, strong lead as well. He's about halfway down the line with a secondary lead. Mix drives that one into center field. Drifting back is Fogelstrom. He can make the catch. So only 2 stranded in the top of the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 left on base.
No runs, no hits,
The
no
Sunfish
errors.
still hold the 2-0 lead over the Whiskey Jacks as we head into the bottom of the fourth. Caleb McDowell leads it off for the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. Andrew Garcia back on the mound for his 4th inning of work. First pitch, a dribbler. Actually, it was just a pop fly, and McDowell slams his bat. Not happy with that swing. He looked like he might have got jammed just a little bit.
The first baseman.
A little blooper
Jelly.
Right back to Andrew Garcia for a first pitch out number 1. Haven't seen frustration like that, at least from a swing, from any player so far this season on any team. And McDowell, he's 0 for 2 on the day after going 2 for 5 last night, and I think he's just a little frustrated. He could take that one back. Jelly, first pitch swinging as well, down the right side. That's going to be a foul ball. Out in right field, and didn't look like it had much, like it was drifting anywhere, and Stroh was given chase. That would have been an extra base hit for Jelly. He's slowly walking back to the plate. He gets his bat handed off to him by Dean Bittner in the on-deck circle. Jelly frustrated with that one. There's been a couple hits like that in the past 2 days where very close to the line. From this vantage point, we have a pretty good shot of the left field line. Right field, it's a little more challenging to see where that one is. Garcia shakes off a few signs. Winds and delivers. Fastball down the middle. Swung on and missed by Jelly. He's down 0-2. Whiskey Jacks trail by 2 in the bottom of the 4th. Clay Huavehi scored off of the Benito Garcia double. Andrew Garcia fires. Fastball low and away. Misses. It's 1-2. So Garcia's double drove in Clay Huavehi, and then Zeph Hoffpower with a single of his own drove in Garcia. Jelly gets a piece of that one. Almost takes the head off of head coach Robbie Laughlin. Very agile out there. He just took a step to his left and got out of the way. Still 1-2. Garcia, this is officially his longest outing, and after a very tough 2-game series against the Fremont Moo, it seems like Sunfish pitching has somewhat gotten into a groove. They've just had to shake off the cobwebs. Garcia, fastball, just misses the outside corner. I thought that caught a piece of the plate. It's 2 apiece. This umpire, again, being very consistent with his zone. Had a good height just at the knees. Must have just missed inside. Jelly way in front of that one. Takes that into the Sunfish dugout. But Garcia only going 2 innings last week. Drew Ballou only going 3, and Mitch Stone only going 3. Each of them added on to their innings total in this series. A chopper over to the left side, bounces off the wall just next to the Sunfish dugout and out to third base coach's box. Coach Laughlin fires it in to the Whiskey Jacks dugout. Mitch Stone went 6 on Saturday. Drew Ballou went long yesterday. Pitch low and outside. Count now full. Ballou went 4 yesterday in relief after Asante Wilson could only go 1 inning, surrendering those 7 runs in that first inning. The payoff pitch from Garcia, swung on and missed by Jelly. Tippett's checking to make sure he caught it. Umpire says yes. We have 2 away in the bottom of the 4th.
Third baseman, Dean
8 straight
Bittner.
retired by Andrew Garcia, dating back to the 2nd inning. Besides a leadoff hit by Jake Jelly in the 2nd and a walk to Dean Bittner, Garcia has retired everyone. So only 2 base runners allowed for Garcia. Bittner takes a ball outside for ball 1. 5 strikeouts on the day for Garcia with a 1-0. Pitch low, 2-0. 5 strikeouts, which makes the Sunfish total 54. They were coming in with 49, which was 8th in the Expedition League. Changeup just misses. I think that was low and away. Couldn't tell if that caught a piece of the plate, but it looked like a good height to me. But Garcia now 3-0 to Bittner. Fastball right down the middle to get that easy strike. So 8 straight retired from Andrew Garcia. The Whiskey Jacks still scoreless. Fastball, dribbler to the third base side. I think that might have been off the foot of Bittner as he's walking around. Foul is called, so Bittner fouled it off of his pink cleats. He was sporting them yesterday. Does a little bit of stretches, takes his time. Nods. I believe the ump asked if he was okay. Count now full. So at a 3-0 count lead, and now it's full, the payoff. Fastball fouled behind us in the press box. Count remains full. So no runs have been scored in this game since the first inning. The Sunfish crossed both of them as the Whiskey Jacks remain scoreless. Payoff pitch again. Fastball fouled to the exact same spot. We're still full. Garcia so far, 3 2/3 innings pitched, has only allowed the 1 hit and the 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Can he get a 6th? No, he can't. Grounder, mix. Gloves it, fires, 9 up, 9 down for Andrew Garcia all the way back to the second inning. He is still not allowed a run through 4. It's 2-0 Sunfish heading into the 5th.
After 4 innings, Sunfish are up to the Whiskey Jacks. Leading off in the top of the
Cade
fifth.
Kalehuavehi, who scored in the first inning, was the first run crossed in this matchup between the Whiskey Jacks and the Sunfish. Leads it off for Sioux Falls. First pitch from Moffitt swung on out of play from Kalehuavehi. Kalehuavehi, one of 2 Hawaii guys for the Sunfish. Himself and Drew Ballou. The 0-1 breaking ball misses high for ball 1. Rhett Stein looking back in the umpire asking where that one missed. It did look like it was chest high, but the umpire not liking those pitches today. 1-1. Misses outside, 2-1. Looking at the Whiskey Jacks dugout, they think I heard a little bit of displeasure on that pitch. Moffitt shakes off one, shakes off another. Winds and delivers. Breaking ball. Misses high again. 3-1. But Kalehuavehi and Ballou, I think, more in tune with this 80-degree weather than they are with the 50s and 60s we've been having. Breaking ball hits the lower part of the zone. Clay Huavehi was about to toss his bat to the dugout, thinking that one was low. Again, this umpire has been calling those low ones, not the high ones, so he got the benefit of the doubt on those first couple high pitches, when that low one called a strike on him, and now it's a full count. Payoff. Almost hits Clay Huavehi. This time he gets to take first base. 3 straight innings of leadoff walks for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Benito Garcia back in the third, and he ended up being caught. He took off before the pitch was thrown and was caught in a pickoff and thrown out. Kenny Dutka had a walk and a stolen base, but then he was left stranded on second base. And now Cade Clay Huavehi. Garcia takes a strike right down the middle. We'll see what Clay Huavehi can do. 2 stolen bases on the season. But again, going back to the weather, Drew Ballou had been complaining about how cold it was. A bouncer in front of the left-handed batter's box, stopped by Stein for ball 1. I don't think Clay Huavehi was really complaining about it all too much, I think, because he was out moving on Saturday. But on Saturday, Drew Ballou was huddled in the back corner of the dugout. He had forgotten his sweatshirt. Or rather, that was Friday, not Saturday, if my memory serves me correctly. The 1-1. Garcia out in front of it, gets it on the tip of the bat, fouls it to the backstop. But Ballou, and then I offered him my sweatshirt. I was not on the air on Friday, and I offered him my sweatshirt. He declined it because he said, "Oh, this is the warm corner. I'm fine." And then 5 minutes later, he was wearing Coach Lane Hovde's sweatshirt. And I was telling him, he's like, "What is this weather?" It's, Clay Huavehi's off and running before the pitch. Garcia fouls that one out of play. So trying the early steal again. That's what got Garcia thrown out. Moffitt hasn't tried the pickoff attempt yet. He might do it now on the 1-2 count. But Ballou is just like, this isn't spring weather. This isn't summer weather. It's May. Why is it, 50s and 60s? I was like, that's May in the Midwest, man. Because he had left his sweatshirt at the hotel. Clay Huavehi. Garcia grounds to short. Sitzman fires to second. Hicks can't get the bag. And Clay Huavehi's going to be safe. Sitzman looking for just the fielder's choice, get the lead runner out, but Hicks couldn't tap her toe on the bag. And so an infield hit for Benito Garcia puts runners on first and second for Carter Tibbetts. Tibbetts 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a flyout. Has runners on with no outs. Takes a pitch for a strike. The Sunfish looking to tack on to their 2-0 lead. The 2 runners on, Clay Huavehi and Garcia, are those 2 runs that scored all the way back in the first. Sitzman dancing over to second. Clay Huavehi puts a bat on that one. That's going to be through for a base hit. Picking it up is Drill, firing it in. Fires all the way home. Stein able to make the grab. No runners were coming. So now the base is loaded on back-to-back base hits. Zeph Hoffpower steps up. He singled and drove in Garcia back in the first. He's 1 for 2 after grounding out to third in his last at-bat back in the third inning. So bases loaded, no outs. As Jack Moffitt now choosing to go from the windup. He checks over at third as Clay Huavehi's dancing, but he winds and delivers. Fastball right down the middle for a strike. Stein checking the dugout for the sign from the coach and relays that sign to Moffitt. Moffitt winds, delivers. The 0-1 misses high for a ball. Due up after this, Hoffpower is up to bat. Due up is Dutka, Stroh, and Cricket Danielson. With no outs. If Hoffpower can reach the 1-1. Pitch misses low, 2-1. Time is called by Stein, who jogs out to Moffitt. Let's have a quick conversation with him. Get that control back. A friendly tap on the back. Says, hey, we got this. Kalehuavehi at third. Garcia at second. Carter Tibbetts at first. Garcia, the fastest out of the three of them. Kalehuavehi not too far behind. The pitch. Breaking ball. Hoffpower knows he was just in front of that one as he fouls it out of play. The count even at 2 apiece. The Sunfish not too successful this season with the bases loaded. Moffitt steps off, wipes his nose, and he gets back on and looks in. No hits in 6 at-bats with the bases loaded for the Sunfish as Hoffpower calls time. 6 at-bats. Hoffpower, this is his first at-bat with the bases loaded. Drives that one out of play. Hoffpower was one of the 3 stranded back in the first when Cricket Danielson struck out. With runners in scoring position, the Sunfish is a tad bit more successful, 215. As the ball misses high, count now full. And, of course, those stats coming before today's game. Only 1 RBI, and that was coming from Jesus Licon with the bases loaded, and that was off of an error. The payoff pitch, swung on and missed by Hoffpower. A fastball blown right by him by Moffitt. And we have one away in the top of the 5th.
Left fielder, Kenneth Dutka.
Kenny Dutka now. He walked to lead off the 4th. Had his stolen base, but again was stranded out at second. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, so no official at-bat for Dutka tonight, but he has reached twice, adding on to that very impressive on-base percentage. Almost hit in the ankle on that one. That would have been the second time hit in the ankle for Dutka. The righty-lefty matchup. A lot of these pitchers have been missing in the left-handed batter's box. Dutka on the inside part of the box. He's but all far back. Swung on and missed. 1-1. So as back as he can be, his foot on the back part of the box on that chalk. He's almost in the back left part. Fouls that one to the backstop with a bang. Down 1-2 now. So crowding the plate. But only 1 inside pitch thrown to him so far this at-bat. From the righty Moffitt, he looks in. Bases loaded, 1 out. Sunfish still lead 2-0, looking to tack on 1 or 2. Dutka swings and misses. Back-to-back strikeouts on fastballs for Jack Moffitt. And after surrendering a leadoff walk and back-to-back singles, Moffitt looks to get away unscathed.
Fielder Mitch Stroh.
Again, no hit this season. In 8 at-bats now, Mitch Stroh resembles the 9th. Represents, rather. Check swing. Still a strike on the outside corner. Stroh struck out swinging in the 4th. Was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. 1 for 4 yesterday. The 0-2, roll 1. Drilled high to left field. Coming in is Drill. He calls off Sitzman and makes the catch. So no outs, bases loaded, and the Sunfish can't cross 1. They leave 3 stranded again, and it's still 2-0 as we head into the bottom of the 5th.
The Sunfish score 0 runs on 2 hits, and the Whiskey Jacks fielder.
2-0 lead, Sunfish over the Whiskey Jacks in the bottom of the 5th. Nolan Drill is going to lead it off for Wheat City. Andrew Garcia headed into his 5th inning of work. With 1 out, he officially passes Drew Ballou for the 2nd longest outing. Check swing, appeal down to first base, no go, it's a ball. Drill with only 1 at bat flew out to right field all the way back in the 2nd inning. 9 straight have been retired by Garcia. Grounder right side picked up by Hoffpower, flips to Garcia for out number 1. Make that 10 in a row.
Center fielder Houston Fogelstrom.
Garcia has been wheeling and dealing, forcing a lot of the pop flies, not too many grounders. In fact, that only marks the 2nd ground out of the day. 5 flyouts and 5 strikeouts. Grounded to third base. Cricket Danielson fires it over. There's another ground out. First pitch swinging. The throw from Hoffpower flies into left field on the around the horn. So as I was talking, first pitch swinging from Fogelstrom.
Right fielder
11 straight
Scanlon.
retired, dating back to the 2nd inning. Besides a leadoff single by Jelly in the 2nd and a walk by Bittner right after that, every batter's been retired since. Kellen Scanlon looking to change that. He takes a ball high from the first pitch from Garcia. So 3 up, 3 down first inning, 3 up, 3 down in the 3rd and 4th. And only 2 base runners as the pitch misses low, 2-0. Jake Jelly took away the no-hitter, and Dean Bittner walked to prevent just a double play or a 3 up, 3 down. Strike on the lower part of the plate as Scanlon looks back at the umpire. The Whiskey Jacks haven't been too happy with this strike zone as Garcia's been getting a lot of those low pitches called. Bounced in the left-handed batter's box. Did that pitch. We're at 2-1. Garcia deals. Fastball. Hits the corner. We got 2s across the board now. 11 straight retired. Garcia shakes one off. Nods. Winds, sets, delivers. Strike 3 called on the lower part of the plate. He got Scanlon looking. Scanlon was on his way down to first. He's looking back, has a couple words for the umpire. If I read the lips correctly, he said that was off the plate. 3 up, 3 down, and that is 12 straight retired on the 6th strikeout of the game for Garcia. It's 2-0 Sunfish as we head into the top of the 6th. The Sioux Falls Sunfish defense is cruising after scoring 2 in the top of the 1st. Their defense has been behind them, or rather, Andrew Garcia, who's been styling and profiling, wheeling and dealing on the mound. Give him a little Ric Flair woo the next time he comes off that mound. He's retired 12 in a row.
Third baseman, Dylan
Allowed only one hit in the form of a single back in the second from Jake Jelly, and only 2 base runners after he walked Dean Bittner right after that. Dylan Cricket Danielson shows bunt. He bunts it out of play, or not out of play, rather. He fouls it to the backstop on the right side for strike 1. Runners left on base today for the Sunfish. The total, only 8, which ties their season low, which was yesterday. Cricket Danielson way in front of that one, swings and miss. That was low and away as well. Down 0-2. He's 0 for 2 on strikeouts today. But 8 doesn't seem like that much, but in the 5th and the 1st, the Sunfish left the bases loaded. The 0-2 pitch to Danielson popped into the netting, actually over the netting. The ball never came down. Again, our press box, field level, right behind home plate. Can't see stuff above us, can't see stuff behind us. But when a foul ball comes right at us, boy, it's terrifying. The 0-2. Swung on and chopped foul towards the Whiskey Jacks dugout. A slew of Whiskey Jacks fighting for the ball. One thing that has been confusing me all series is these Whiskey Jacks have, you know, those toys where you have the dinosaur head on the stick. That's what they have, plush dinosaur heads on sticks. 2 of them are being raised. The 0-2 misses high. 1-2 to Cricket Danielson. There's 2 of them. If I'm not mistaken, I think I've seen a pink unicorn on a stick as well. I'm getting a nod and confirmation. Don't see that one right now, just the 2 T-Rex heads. The 1-2 from Moffitt. Swung on and missed by Cricket Danielson. In his first game, he's 0 for 3 on 3 strikeouts. Moffitt on the day
center fielder Adonis Forte
has 5 strikeouts, that being his 5th. To Cricket Danielson brings up Adonis Forte, who walked in his last at-bat. He takes a fastball at the knees for a strike. So but that's just one thing that's been confusing me, is why they have these plush T-Rex heads on sticks. They have them out the entire game. It's not like it's a rally thing. The 0-1, fastball at just below the knees this time for a strike. Again, this umpire liking those low pitches. Moffitt steps off. He nods. I think Stein was telling him, let's go through the signs again. But this Whiskey Jacks team has some weird things going on. Pitch high and gets away from Stein, rolls all the way to the backstop. 1-2 the count. But the Whiskey Jacks with you know, these T-Rexes on a stick, the unicorn on a stick. They also, the first game on Friday, a player was wearing a cowboy hat and another one with a Santa Claus hat in the dugout. So a crazy group of guys here in Grand Forks. Forte swings on a breaking ball. Hicks charges. She grabs it, fires, but Forte too quick. Adonis Forte uses his speed to get that infield hit. Very slow roller to Zoe Hicks. She had a nice charge on it, but Forte ran that one out, and he gets the one out base hit on the infield. Moffitt seems a bit frustrated. I think some of the signs might be a little confused between himself and Stein and the coaches, or he's just frustrated on giving it the infield hit. Brings up JT Mix. Mix takes a breaking ball outside for ball 1. Jack Moffitt today, 2 1/3, no runs, 5 strikeouts. He throws over to first, not in time to grab Forte. He's only allowed 3 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts has Moffitt. He allowed a walk and 2 singles back in the 5th. Forte goes, pitch low. Forte slides in. The throw, it's a strike, but the ump calls him safe. Stein's throw, a perfect throw to Sitzman, who was covering from short. And head coach Robbie Laughlin makes the slow walk out to second. And fans, I'm not one who typically disagrees with umpires often, but the tag was there. The throw was there. Stein popped up. It was a very low throw, but it was on a straight line, and it hit Sitzman's glove as he was going to cover, and he hit him on the run, and this was almost like a Javi Baez kind of tag where it just, it was just perfect, and he got the tag. Laughlin, very frustrated. He's using his hands, and as he walks back to the dugout, he's breathing. He's counting to 10. You can tell it, but he's frustrated. Count is 1-0. I think that's what the umpire just motioned to us. Unless he just flashed 2-0. He showed us 1-1, or showed us 1-0, but then I think he just flashed 2-0. I'm kind of confused, but nonetheless, Adonis Forte swiped second base. Sitzman was running over to second to cover, but then backed off, and Moffitt didn't get the memo as he steps off to turn and fire, but no one was there. So we'll see on this pitch what the official count is. We're going with 2-0 right now. Driven into right field, doesn't matter anymore. JT Mix gets the hit. Forte rounding third. He's heading home. The throw past the cutoff man hits Stein, but not in time. Jelly didn't stop the ball, and it bounced to Stein. An RBI single for JT Mix. Forte came all the way around from second. Coach Loveday not showing any arms, showing to send him. Must have been vocal, or must have been on Forte. The throw in from Scanlon from right. It wasn't that deep of a hit for Mix. He's taking a moderate lead at first. He goes on the first pitch. Kaleo Avehi, no swing. This time the throw in time, but Sitzman can't make a grab on it, and JT Mix swipes a base. The pitch was a ball as Cade Kaleo Avehi, who walked in his last at-bat, got stranded at third, looks to keep this one-out rally going. It's now 3-0 Sunfish. Pitch misses inside, almost hits Kaleo Avehi, 2-0. So I was still flustered by that Adonis Forte steal. The throw was there, the tag was there, the ump called him safe, and then Forte ends up scoring. Pitch misses high, 3-0 as Stein calls time and walks out to a very frustrated-looking Jack Moffitt. So 3-0 Sunfish now over the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. Kaleo Avehi and Garcia scored in the first. And then Adonis Forte with the one-out single ended up stealing second, and then on the single by JT Mix, scores from second on a no contest, bouncing throw into Rhett Stein. And now JT Mix has swiped second. Sitzman runs over to second, no throw back. A check swing by Kaleo Avehi misses 3-0. So now you're all caught up. JT Mix on second, one out. Cade Kaleo Avehi has a 3-0 count lead. Mix dancing out at second. He's already got a sizable lead. He took a bigger one. Fastball right down the middle, 3-1. So 3 runs off 7 hits for the Sunfish. Still looking for their first win of the season. Can they hold on? Sitzman runs over to second, goes back to short. Check swing by Kaleo Avehi. Breaking ball missed inside. Moffitt not happy with that call. Rhett Stein asked for that one missed. Nonetheless, runners on first and second now. Kaleo Avehi with a big smile standing on first base. Back-to-back walks for the Flying Hawaiian. He's reached base 3 times in this game, an E5 in the first and 2 walks after lining out for an inning-ending double play to Jake Jelly. Bouncer gets away from Stein. Runners both advance. So first pitch to Benito Garcia got away from Stein, and now JT Mix and Cade Kalehu of Ahi. 2 speedy guys, now both in scoring position for quite possibly fastest man on the team, Benito Garcia, who's at the plate. The Sunfish look to add to their lead. Pitch, breaking ball, misses outside, 2-0. So Jack Moffitt, after allowing the bases loaded in the 5th and then retiring 3 straight, has only retired 1 here in the 6th and has let a run score. Grounder up the middle, past the glove of Sitzman. Mix is going to score. Kalehu Avehi is rounding third. He's on his way home. He slides in as the throw from Fogelstrom past Sitzman into the glove of Jelly, who is the cutoff man. 2 will cross on a bases-clearing single by Benito Garcia.
Catcher, Carter
The Sioux
Tibbetts.
Falls Sunfish extend their lead to 5 here in the 6th inning. A grounder right up the middle. Garcia, he's held on by a pickoff attempt by Moffitt as the runners have been going in this inning. And Garcia, is wanting to steal a base of his own. Fastball just misses outside, 1-0. For Carter Tibbetts. Tibbetts struck out swinging back in the 3rd, and that's his last at-bat of the game. Or actually, he singled. Correction. Pitch hits the outside corner, 1-1. It was looking like an X to me, but that was actually my marking for a single. He was one of those 3 runners left stranded back in the 5th. Breaking ball gets past Stein, a wild pitch as Garcia trots into second. So now Garcia in scoring position, the double play taken off the board. The Sunfish have crossed 3 here in the 6th to take a 5-0 lead. The 2-1 to Tibbetts. Swung on up the middle. That almost hit Moffitt, but that's going to be a base hit into center. Garcia stops at third to fire in from Fogelstrom, scooped at the pitcher's mound by Jelly, and another 1-out single for the Sunfish. That's the 3rd base hit of the inning. 4th base hit of the inning. JT Mix had his RBI single. As Coach Laughlin heads to the mound for the Whiskey Jacks, and this might be it for Jack Moffitt. 3 runs have crossed, bringing the lead 5-0, 9 hits for the Sunfish, and that's going to be it for Jack Moffitt here in Grand Forks. We're going to step away for a moment. But with 1 out and runners at the corners, who will come in to relieve Moffitt? It's 5-0 Sunfish. We'll be right back from Kraft Field. Back in Grand Forks, Cameron Daigle gets the call for the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks, relieving Jack Moffitt. Moffitt finishes with 2 1/3, 6 hits, 3 runs all earned, 4 walks on 5 strikeouts. Zaf Hoffbauer bunts but pops it out of play. Cheering from the fans, I'm thinking someone might have barehanded it. Again, they're above us, so we can't see them. But Daigle, he played 5 games in the field. He's batting, but pitching, he's only had 1 appearance. 2 innings pitched, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, 5 hits. Pitch to Hoffbauer, right down the pipe, 0-2. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, 12 batters faced in 2 innings on the 27th against the SaberDogs. So 0-2 to Hoffbauer. Swung on, left side, gets by the glove of Bittner. Garcia's going to score. Tippett stops at second, and it's an RBI base hit for Zaf Hoffbauer. The Sunfish keep tacking it on. And the first batter faced by Cameron Daigle gets on with an RBI single. 4 runs have crossed in the 6th. It's now 6-0. And that brings up Kenny Dutka. Struck out in his last at-bat. He was one of those 3 outs that left the bases loaded back in the 5th. 10 hits for the Sunfish today. 6 runs as they are shutting out the Whiskey Jacks, and a breaking ball freezes Dutka for strike number 1. The sun's setting, the lights are on. There's still enough sunlight, but they wanted the lights on. Another breaking ball misses outside, 1-1. Yesterday I was making the comment that it was close to 9 o'clock and the sun was still up. It was cloudy, so it wasn't as sunny, but it's partly cloudy here. It's 8:56, and it's pretty sunny out as Daigle steps off and looks back at Carter Tippett's on second base. No one covering. He's got about a 10-foot lead. 10-step lead, rather. Fastball chopped to the right side at foul by Dutka. Andrew Garcia wearing a zip up in the dugout. He's keeping his arms warm. You're most likely going to see him again. He's been wheeling and dealing. He's retired 12, only allowed 2 base runners today. 1 hit, 1 walk. Breaking ball swung on by Dutka. That's drifting out of play just to the left of the Sunfish bullpen. A little activity in the bullpen, and when I say activity, I think it's just a couple guys goofing around because I think that's Jesus Licone who's pitching out there. Licone was ejected from yesterday's game, so he's not eligible to play today. The 1-2, fastball misses inside, 2-2. Dutka crowds the plate, had to back off there for a second. He's playing a little more up in the box than he was in his last at-bat. 2-2 to the lefty. He takes a breaking ball low and inside, count now full. Hoffbauer at first, Tippett's at second. 4 have crossed so far in the 6th. The Sunfish hold a 6-0 lead over the Whiskey Jacks. Swung on, right side, that gets through for a base hit. Tibbetts is going to round third, he's heading home. Throw in from Scanlon. He hits Stein, but not in time. Stein in front of the plate, he jumped up, and Dutka advances on the throw. Runners now at second and third on the RBI single from Dutka. It's now 7-0 Sunfish.
Right fielder Mitch Stroh.
So Dutka ends up on second after a single into right field. Zoe Hicks was playing close to second, and where she is standing currently is where the ball was hit, which is, where a second baseman would normally play. And Scanlon's throw from right field went all the way home, and Hoffbauer was already on his way to third. Dutka ended up on second on the third. On the throw, rather. Mitch Stroh takes a fastball right down the middle for a strike. So this inning began with a Dylan Cricket Danielson strikeout. He's due up next. Stroh swings through a fastball down 0-2. So he led off with a strikeout swinging. Adonis Forte had a single and a stolen base. He was driven in by JT Mix's single, who Mix had a stolen base of his own. Breaking ball misses low and outside, 1-2. And then a walk by Kalehu Avehi, and a single by Benito Garcia, and a single by Tibbetts is now crossed 5. There's a single by Hoffpower as well. Breaking ball misses outside, 2-2. Hoffpower and Dutka with 2 singles of their own. They're now at second and third, respectively. Count even to Stroh. The pitch. Swung on, driven into center field. Drifting back is Fogelstrom. He makes the catch. Hoffpower tags. The throw into Sitzman at short. Dutka stays at second, but the sac fly by Stroh scores Hoffpower. 8-0 Sunfish in the top of the 6th.
Third baseman Dylan Cricket Danielson.
This is the first time all season that the Sioux Falls Sunfish have made it through the entire order in 1 inning. Cricket Danielson led off the inning with a strikeout swinging, and he's now up with Kenny Dutka at second. Fastball right down the middle for an early strike from Daigle. Daigle came into this 6th inning in relief of Jack Moffitt, who went 2 1/3. 2 outs now. Pitch high to Danielson. Count even at 1 apiece. Danielson, this is something new. I don't think I've really noticed it with any other batters, but he's wearing a hat underneath his helmet. The gray hats with the orange brim that the Sunfish are sporting today. Swung on and missed. Breaking ball fooled Danielson. Cricket Danielson, rather. He goes by both last names. Down now 1-2. He's struck out 3 times today. Once already this inning. The 1-2. Swung on and missed, the 4th strikeout of the day. Cricket Danielson leads off the inning and closes the inning with a strikeout swinging. But the Sunfish do some damage. 6 runs cross, and they now lead the Whiskey Jacks 8-0 as we head into the bottom of the 6th.
Sunfish scores 6. Today's live video stream is sponsored by Altru Health System, the official healthcare partner of your Wheat City Whiskey Jacks.
Not many warm-up pitches needed for Andrew Garcia, especially when he heads into his 6th inning of work. He's retired 12 straight, dating back to the 2nd inning as Zoe Hicks leads off for the Whiskey Jacks. She swings and misses through a fastball for strike 1. It's 8-0 here in Grand Forks, but let's take a trip around the Expedition League. The Sewers Valley SaberDogs lead the Casper Horseheads 7-2 in the bottom of the 4th. As Garcia deals a fastball, just misses at the knees, 1-1. It's the bottom of the 4th as the Western Nebraska Pioneers lead the Badlands Big Sticks 5-2. Badlands 2 games out from that lead in the Lewis division. A grounder up the middle. That's stabbed by Garcia, but he bobbles it, fires it over. He recovered in time. Benito Garcia with the slide behind second base, made the grab, and then on the transition, he bobbled it, still fired it over. And Zoe Hicks is thrown out. She's the 13th straight retired of these Whiskey Jacks. Benito Garcia, a solid shortstop for the Sunfish this season. He's only made 2 errors And he's the one player who you always know he's ready to play, as the first pitch to Ethan Sitzman misses inside 1-0. During warm-ups, he's playing like it's a real game, and that shows right there as he's able to recover from that bobbled ball. A strike to Sitzman. Back to the scoreboard. The Canyon County Spuds trail the Mining City Tommyknockers in the top of the fourth, 4-2. That's your trip around. Chopper, left side, Garcia, gloves, fires, dug out by Hoffpower for out number 2. Back-to-back plays from Benito Garcia, and the stud shortstop is showing why he has started every game at that position for the Sunfish. Hoffpower, who's typically an outfielder but has played now his second game at first base, he makes an amazing scoop at first. He was stretched out a little bit, half splits I'd say. 14 retired straight from Garcia. Rhett Stein swings and misses. Foul. Or, not sure if he got a piece of that one, but it bounced off the chest of the umpire and rolled back into play. So 0-1 to the catcher Stein, who has struck out looking on 2 pitches that he hasn't been a fan of. Pitch misses low and away, 1-1. First inning, it was 3 straight pitches, and both strikeout pitches have been at the knees or a little low. Pitch inside, misses 2-1. It's 8-0 Sunfish over the Whiskey Jacks after a 6-run top of the 6th. Garcia deals, swung on, fouled off the leg of Stein. He picks it up, hands it to Tibbetts, who fires it back to Garcia. 2s across the board. Oh, we might have something special. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Rhett is number 22. He is. We have Deuces Wild Supreme. Pitch misses low, ball 3. Number 22 had 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And for the Sunfish listeners on the Sunfish Radio Network, you know how much I love Deuces Wild. But now it's a full count. 2 outs to Stein. Garcia deals. Fly ball, right side, drifting foul, and that's going to stay in the park, but still foul. So Garcia has retired 14 straight after allowing just 1 hit back in the second and a walk to Bittner. The hit to Jake Jelly. The payoff pitch. Strike 3 inside corner. 3 strikeouts looking for Rhett Stein, and that's 15 straight for Garcia. Through 6, he's only allowed 1 hit and a walk, and he has allowed no runs. It's 8-0 Sunfish on the way to what might possibly be their first win of the season. We head to the top of the 7th.
0 hits. After 6 innings, the Sioux Falls fans, just a reminder, the 7th inning is the last inning to get food and drink, so make sure to stop on by the concession stand to get your last-minute eats and treats. Thank you.
Adonis Forte, the 9-hitter, leads off for the Sioux Falls Sunfish after the Sunfish made it all the way through their lineup in the last inning. Breaking ball hits the lower part of the zone for strike one. Pitch, breaking ball swung on and missed this time by Forte, down 0-2. Cameron Daigle takes the mound once more for the Whiskey Jacks. He relieved Jack Moffitt in the last inning. 8-0 Sunfish, pitch to Forte, hits the plate for ball one. Andrew Garcia has been wheeling and dealing, styling and profiling from the mound for the Sunfish. Forte grounds one to Hicks at second. She fields, throws it to Jelly for out number one. Garcia has retired 15 straight Whiskey Jacks through 6 innings. The only 2 Whiskey Jacks to reach base are Jake Jelly with a leadoff single in the second, followed by a walk right after that to Dean Bittner, and those are the only 2 and the last 2 runners to hit for the Whiskey Jacks. JT Mix grounds to third, and a fire by Bittner. It looked like it was in time, but the ump called him safe. Another close call at first base, and it goes to the Sunfish again. A bang-bang play at first base. Mix a quick guy, but a nice stab by Bittner at third. He came up firing, and it looked like he had nailed him. Coaching staff from the Whiskey Jacks yelling out to Daigle, calm down, don't worry, let's get this guy. Back-to-back singles, the third of the day for JT Mix. He's got a hot bat for the Sunfish. Strike on the inside corner now to Clay Huavehi, who he walked and scored. He's 2 of the 8 runs today for the Sunfish. Daigle, his pitch fouled by Clay Huavehi to the backstop. JT Mix, 3 for 5 today with a run scored. He was doubled up in the second inning off the line out by Cade Clay Huavehi to Jake Jelly at first. 1 out, runner on first, 0-2 to Clay Huavehi. He grounds that up the middle. Sitzman, Hicks, she can't fire over to first, so just the 6-4. She almost looked like she missed the bag on the toe tap, but she was able to get it on. So lead runner gone on the 6-4 fielder's choice. Brings up Benito Garcia with 2 outs. He had a single, advanced on a wild pitch, and ended up scoring. He's, again, one of the 2 of the 8 runs scored today. So Garcia and Clay Huavehi make up half of the runs scored as the first pitch to Garcia misses. Garcia with 2 sure-handed stops at short in the bottom half of the 6th. Breaking ball breaks his knees. That's a strike. So 2 outs. Clay Huavehi on first. Reached on the fielder's choice. Almost was a double play. Again, speed on the base pass for the Sunfish. Fastball just misses the outside corner. Stein double takes as Daigle rolls his head a little bit on that one. It's 2-1. 2 runs crossed in the first inning for the Sunfish in the forms of Cade Clay Huavehi and Benito Garcia. It was 2-0 until the top of the second when the Sunfish tacked on 6 more. 12 hits today for Sioux Falls, an 8-0 lead. The 2-1 almost hits Garcia. He bails out of the way. It's now 3-1. Carter Tibbetts in the on-deck circle with his shin guards on. He's been catching quite a game, helping Andrew Garcia along the way of his one-hitter. The 3-1. Check swing, put into play, picked up by Stein, fired over to Jelly. And the check swing, the ball got a piece of it for Garcia. He grounds out to the catcher. So no runs this inning. 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. It's 8-0, and it's stretching time at Grand Forks here at Kraft Field.
Get up and stretch. It's the 7th inning stretch for
The Whiskey Jacks trail by 8. A different story from last night. Last night, Wheat City had a 14-5 victory over Sioux Falls, and now the Sunfish are finally striking back. They've scored a season-high 8 runs tonight, and Andrew Garcia heads into his 7th inning of work. With 1 out in this inning, he will break Mitch Stone's season record of 6 innings pitched. Fastball hits low for a strike. Leadoff hitter Caleb McDowell flew out to Garcia in his last at-bat. Fastball misses outside, 1-1. Garcia has retired 15 straight batters in this game. Grounder up the middle. Garcia stabs at it, fires, and that's 16 straight. Garcia has been busy.
Jake Jelly.
In the past 2 innings, that's 3 groundouts to the shortstop. He had a bobble in the first out, but he was able to recover and throw out Zoe Hicks back in the 6th, and a Sitzman grounder was a little bit easier. Jake Jelly, the lone hit of the game for the Whiskey Jacks, standing at the plate, takes a fastball outside for a ball. Jelly 1 for 2 today. He singled back in the 2nd, first pitch swinging, and then he struck out swinging in the 4th. He had a full count, but he got lost. Drives this one right field, drifting foul out of play. 1-1. So Garcia, 77 pitches through 6 1/3. He has officially had the longest outing of any Sunfish, I'll say it, in Sunfish history. A short one may it be. The 1-1, chopped, foul, bounced over the left side. That's a backstop. It's a brick wall, but it bounces over it on a play. A lot of foul balls out of play in today's game. Not as much as the Sunfish saw in Fremont. For those of you listening on the Sunfish Radio Network, you remember me getting tired of saying out of play down the right side. The 1-2. High and inside, count even at 2 apiece. But Garcia, less than 80 pitches. He's 1 away from his 80th pitch. Actually, that ball marked his 80th pitch. So now he's at 80 through 6 1/3. Fastball just misses the outside corner. Tibbetts was ready to throw that down to 3rd. I thought that caught the outer half of the plate. It was a good height. I've seen lower pitches called strikes today, so it was definitely outside. Count full now with 1 out. 16 straight retired. Payoff pitch. Chopped foul to the back netting above us. Jelly staying alive, trying not to be the 17th straight retired by Garcia. Eight 0 Sunfish in the bottom of the 7th. Garcia looks, winds, delivers. Lost him. Again, I don't know where that one's missing. Seems like Garcia's been painting that outside corner for the entire night. So the streak ends at 16. And for the second time tonight, Jake Jelly, who started the streak and ended the streak. He was a single at the beginning half, and then Dean Bittner actually right here was the walk that was the last base runner. So Jelly has marked 2 of the 3 base runners today as Bittner gets jammed and fouls that one behind us. 16 straight for Garcia. Still only allowed 1 hit. Jelly has reached twice. He was the single back in the 2nd, and now a walk. The 0-1 breaking ball hits. It's now 0-2 to Bittner. So 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th. The first base runner since the 2nd inning in the form of Jake Jelly on first. He's got a moderate lead over there. Garcia more focused on Bittner at the plate. He's got a 2-strike lead on him. Got him on the breaking ball. A swing and a miss by Bittner. And that's 2 away in the 7th.
Left fielder Nolan.
Nolan Drill, who grounded out to Hoff Power at first base in his last at-bat. I don't think Garcia is even worried about Jelly at first. Jelly could probably take it. I don't even think Tibbetts would throw down. They're just focused right now on Nolan Drill. Fastball blown by him, swung on and missed for strike 1. Garcia is a man on a mission, trying to get through 7 full. It's still scoreless for the Whiskey Jacks. They trail by 8 to the Sunfish. The 0-1, fastball high, misses. Garcia, he's been really relying on that fastball to start out these at-bats. Once he gets about 2 pitches in, he kind of throws in that curveball. Doesn't have much break to it. Misses with the slider there, 2-1. Slider broke inside. It's a righty-righty matchup. 2-1, 2 outs, runner on first. Change up, hits the zone, count even at 2. We got deuces wild. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at first. Jelly might take off on this one. He doesn't. Fastball driven into right center field. That's going to be a base hit. Jelly, round second, heads to third. And Stroh picks it up, fires it in. And so that's the second base hit of the game. This time a 2-out single from Nolan Drill.
Center fielder Houston Vogelstrom.
So the first hit came all the way back in the second from Jake Jelly, and then he drew the walk with 1 out in this inning. He's now at third. Second time this game, a runner has reached third, both times Jake Jelly. First pitch to Houston Vogelstrom is a strike. Almost said Hunter there again. I got to get it out of my brain that his name is Hunter Vogelstrom because it's not. It's Houston. Two outs. The 0-1 to Vogelstrom. Swung on, fouled to the backstop. 0-2. So if this inning ends right here, the only 4 base runners in this game will have reached by a single and a walk, both occurring in the same inning. A single by Jelly in the second, followed by a walk by Bittner. They were both left stranded, and now a walk by Jelly and a single by Nolan Drill. The 0-2. Swung on and missed in the dirt. He tags Drill. And no runs crossed still for Garcia. He allows his second hit, but no errors. 2 left on base. It's still 8-0 Sunfish. Andrew Garcia walks off the mound proudly. That might be the last we see him, but we might see him in the 8th. We'll see. It's the top of the 8th when we come back on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks live stream. Carter Tibbetts leads off the top of the 8th.
Number 2, Carter Tibbetts.
Speaking of 8, that's the number of runs that the Sunfish have scored and what they lead by. Breaking ball hits the inside corner for strike 1 to catcher Carter Tibbetts. But Andrew Garcia has gone 7 full here at Kraft Field tonight. Pitched low in the dirt for ball 1. Garcia tonight through 7 has only allowed 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks. He has 9 strikeouts, which also is a season high. Change up, fools Tibbetts. He's far ahead of that one for strike number 2. The 0-2 to Tibbetts. In the dirt, check swing. He didn't go. Ball 1. Tibbetts has singled in his last 2 at-bats. He ended up scoring in that 6th. They now actually check down to first base. He did not go. A half swing. So Tibbetts 2 for 4 today. He's representing his 5th at-bat, 5th time through the order for the Sunfish. We've tacked on 8, a season high for them. Swung on and missed by Tibbetts for out number 1. A lot of firsts today for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. First time a pitcher has gone through 7. First time they've had a pitcher has had 9 strikeouts in 1 game. Garcia retired 16 straight as Zeph Hoffbauer takes a fastball high for ball number 1. A season high, in franchise history, it's the most runs ever scored in a game. Again, a very short franchise history. Hoffbauer behind that breaking ball for strike 1. Hoffbauer singled and scored in that 6-run 6th inning. Swung on and missed on that one. Just a bit ahead of it. 1-2. 2 runs crossed in the first, 6 in the 6th to bring the Sunfish to 8. Garcia with a double, which drove in Kalehu Avehi, and Hoffbauer drove in Garcia. That breaking ball just misses high. Stein was about to throw it for around the horn and counts even at 2 apiece. Rhett Stein hasn't been too happy with his ump, both from an offensive and a defensive standpoint. He's catching behind the plate. He's thought there's been some that have hit that have missed, and Hoffbauer foul tips that one into the glove of Rhett Stein for out number 2. And then Stein has striked out 3 times. Struck out 3 times looking, and the first 2, it was at a pitch that he thought was below the knees, but the umpire called for a strike. Brings up Kenny Dutka. Dutka singled in his last at-bat, made it to second on the throw. He takes strike 1. First pitch strikes to all 3 batters this inning from Cameron Daigle. Daigle winds and delivers. Fouled to left side. Hits the backstop for strike 2. The righty-lefty matchup. Daigle the righty, Dutka the lefty. Didn't matter last time. Time is called. Daigle stays set on the mound. Dutka gets back in the box. Daigle winds, delivers the 0-2. Chopped to the right side, foul. Eight 0 Sunfish over the Whiskey Jacks after falling 14-5 last night. A complete turnaround for Sioux Falls. Swung on and missed by Dutka. 3 up, 3 down as Cameron Daigle strikes out the side.
Sunfish court, no runs.
No runs crossing that inning, but we head into the bottom of the 8th. It's 8-0.
It's Sunfish 8,
After 7 innings of work, that's all she wrote for Andrew Garcia. But what a game he had. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts for Garcia. 1 hit and 1 walk coming all the way back in the 2nd inning. And he retired 16 straight before allowing a walk and a hit. If you heard that noise, that was a wild pitch coming and smacking the glass in front of us. But a hit and a walk allowed in the 2nd and the 7th, but that's all. As Garcia pitches a dime. And relieving him now in the bottom of the 8th is newcomer Andalo Santangelo, the righty freshman from Ophir, Colorado. He's a freshman at Townsend, pitching for the Tigers in Maryland. The 6'1 righty, 18 1/3 innings pitched for Townsend this season, allowing 20 runs off 25 hits. 17 of those runs were earned. He struck out 20 while only walking 8. So we'll see what Andalo Santangelo does in relief for Garcia. Garcia set up for the win in today's matchup so far. If the Sunfish can hold on to this, first pitch from Santangelo, swung on and missed by Keelan Scanlon. He's a newbie for the Whiskey Jacks, so 2 Expedition League players making their first appearances, and they're facing off each other tonight. Fastball misses the outside corner from Santangelo. It's 1-1. 8-0, the Sunfish lead the Whiskey Jacks here in the bottom of the 8th. Fastball hits the inside corner, 1-2. So Andrew Garcia, after retiring 16 straight, in the 7th inning, a walk to Jake Jelly, who has reached twice today, and then a single by Nolan Drill. Chopper just over the head of Santangelo, charging Garcia. He can't make a play on it. Now, that was a tough one. I'm not sure if we would give Garcia the error on that one, or if that's just going to be a base hit. That was a tough charge for either JT Mix or Garcia, and who knows if they came up with it, if that was going to be in time or not. I think that's an infield single. We'll see what the official scorer goes. So no outs, runner on first for Zoe Hicks. Righty-lefty matchup. Hicks, the lefty, takes a first pitch strike. She is 0 for 2 on the day. Santangelo looks over at first, and Scanlon, with his first Expedition League hit, taking a moderate lead. Chopped right side, Hoffpower can't make the stab. Can he recover? Tosses it to first. So the 3-1 fielder's choice advances Scanlon over to second, and Hicks heads back to the dugout again. Zeph Hoffpower, I think if he had snagged that, it would have been possibly a 3-6-1 double play, but he couldn't get it, and so they'll settle for the 3-1. Santangelo looking back at second, but deals to Sitzman, who pops this one high into left center field. Dutka drifting over, calls off Forte, makes the grab for out number 2. Dutka running a far way from left field.
Number 22, Rhett Stein.
With Forte's speed, it almost seemed like it might have been easier for him to get it, but Dutka called him off and made the grab. There's 2 away with a runner on second. So Santangelo allowing the leadoff single, but then retiring the 2 after that, and that brings up Rhett Stein, who he struck out looking 3 times. Santangelo steps off, pats his chest, saying, "That's on me. Just want to get a better grip on the ball." First pitch to Stein, swung on, third base side. Cricket Danielson grabs it, brings it up, fires for out number 3. So a leadoff base hit, but no damage after that. After 8 full, the Sioux Falls Sunfish are just 3 outs away from their first win in franchise history. It's 8-0 Sunfish as we head to the 9th.
Whiskey Jacks 0.
So official scoring on that. Kalen Scanlon
97th, the right fielder, number 19.
base hit. It was a base. It was a base hit. It was a tough play for Benito Garcia. Official score ruling it a base hit. Mitch Stroh leads off the top of the 9th for the Sunfish. Sunfish hold an 8-run lead over the Whiskey Jacks, and they're just 3 outs away from their first win of the season and in franchise history. First pitch misses high. Brandon Nix on the mound now for the Whiskey Jacks, the righty out of Omaha, Nebraska. Cameron Daigle goes 2 2/3. Slow fastball misses high, 2-0. So Daigle goes 2 2/3. 3 hits, 1 run, it was earned, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. Daigle and Nix and Stein meeting on the mound. I think they're just trying to get their signs correct. So 12 hits for the Sunfish, 3 now for the Whiskey Jacks, 2 of those by Andrew Garcia, 1 of them allowed by Andalo Santangelo. Stroh fouls that to the backstop, 2-1. Checking around the league again, just an update. In the bottom of the 5th, the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs taking a strong 10-4 lead over the Casper Horseheads. The Badlands Big Sticks still trail the Western Nebraska Pioneers 6-4 in the top of the 6th. The 2-1. A breaking ball hits the zone 2-2. No swing by Stroh. The Canyon County Spuds still trail the Mining City Tommyknockers 4-2 in the top of the 6th. The Tommyknockers having a strong inaugural season. The Tommyknockers and the Spuds, the 2 other new teams in this league. Stroh gets hit. A 2-2 pitch hits Mitch Stroh, and that's a leadoff base runner for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. That's the 3rd of the game
Number 20,
for Sioux
Dylan
Falls.
Cricket Danielson.
Got to have the ice packs ready in that dugout. Kenny Dutka. This is actually the second time this game that Mitch Stroh has been hit, and that was all the way back in the 1st. So he really only has 2 at-bats, a fly-out and a strikeout, because he had a sac fly back in the 6th. So a base runner for Dylan Cricket Danielson, he's first pitch swinging, pops it high into the infield. Sitzman coming in, and he makes the grab behind the pitcher's mound. Cricket Danielson is 0 for 5 now today. 4 strikeouts and a flyout in his first game with the Sunfish. Adonis Forte steps up to the plate with 1 out. Stroh at first. He had a stolen base yesterday. He's only reached twice today. Hasn't gotten to second yet. Will he get a stolen base today? Forte takes a breaking ball on the outside, and that misses. 1-0. Now with 8 runs in the top of the 9th, an 8-run lead, might be in poor taste to steal. So we might not see Stroh get that stolen base. Forte takes a fastball right down the middle, 1-1. But the Mining City Tommyknockers and the Canyon County Spuds, the 2 other new teams, along with the Sunfish, and the Tommyknockers, 4-1 this season. They lead the Lewis division. Stroh dancing at first. He now goes. Hit and run is on, and Adonis Forte hits that opposite field, and Stroh's going to end up at third. The hit and run was on. Sitzman was covering, and Adonis Forte, the lefty, hit that over to shortstop where Sitzman would have been playing. Would have been an easy 6-4-3, but
JT Mix.
the hit and run was in, and now there's runners at the corners for JT Mix at the top of the order. But the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks at 4-2, they're just a half game behind the Mining City Tommyknockers. With this loss tonight and a Mining City win, which both are on track to happen, they'll get a full game behind. First pitch high and inside to Mix, a fastball. But Sioux Falls, the only team in the Expedition League this season to not have a win. And with runners at the corners, they might add on to their 8-0 lead. That might help them get the win. And JT Mix wanted that hanging curve, but he was way out in front of it. I think Nick's on the mound might have felt a breeze on that one. That's how strong that swing and a miss was. Pickoff attempt at first. That's low. Stroh not going. He was in the dirt, got away from Jelly. With Forte's speed, keeping him on first is what's needed right now. One. Misses high, 2-1. 8-0 Sunfish. 2 runs scored all the way back in the first inning, and it remained 2-0 until the top of the 6th when the Sunfish were able to cross 6. The 2-1 breaking ball. Just ahead of it again was Mix, but he got a piece of this one, follows it to the backstop. It's now even at 2 apiece. So 8-0. The scoreless Whiskey Jacks, courtesy of 7 innings pitched by Andrew Garcia, who allowed just 2 hits and 2 walks. He retired 16 straight between the 2nd inning and the 7th. Pitch high over the head of JT Mix, but stopped by Rhett Stein. The count is now full. Coming into today's game, 48 walks allowed by Wheat City pitching. Mix gets a piece of that one and follows it to the backstop again. 5 walks today. So a total of 53 on the season. The 48 allowed was the 2nd most allowed this season. We'll see after tonight if Wheat City takes over the crown of most walks allowed by their pitching staff. Full count. Walked him. 54 walks on the season. Through these, it's now the 7th game of the season for Wheat City. Cade Kalehuavehi steps up with the bases loaded. And we were talking about early on in today's game, now 9 at-bats with the bases loaded for the Sunfish. No hit still. Kalehuavehi takes a ball on the inside. The 1-0. Breaking ball in the dirt. 2-0. Kalehuavehi with the bases loaded, 1 out, looking to add on to the 8-0 lead the Sunfish already hold. Breaking ball breaks in at the chest, 2-1, and delayed strike call on that one. Cade got on base with a 6-4 fielder's choice. They got JT Mix out at second. Pitch misses again, 3-1. One pitch away from Nix walking in the 9th run. Kalehuavehi gets a piece of that one. Right side, Jelly at the fence. He makes the grab. No runner's tag as Jake Jelly makes the grab up against the first base fence for out number 2.
Batting third, shortstop, number 10, Benito Garcia.
2 away. Bases loaded. Benito Garcia. He had a check swing that grounded out to Rhett Stein, the catcher, in his last at-bat. That ended the 7th inning. Takes the first pitch, ball. And through that 6th inning, I may have to correct myself. Through that 6th inning, I think there were a couple times where the bases might have been loaded and some runs crossed and some singles happened. So we'll see tomorrow when the stats update. This one drilled in the left center field. Drifting back is Fogelstrom. He'll make the grab. So whether or not there has been a hit with the bases loaded for the Sunfish, they still struggle with the bases loaded. But the Sioux Falls Sunfish, with their 8-0 lead, are 3 outs away from their first win in franchise history. We'll see if they can do it right after this.
No errors in the field. Through 8, it's batting third, the DH, number 28, Caleb McDowell.
3 outs away from the first win in Sunfish history. After starting the season 0-5, the Sunfish are looking for their win, and in dominant fashion, 8-0 lead as Andalo Santangelo, his first pitch to Caleb McDowell is a strike. He's in his 2nd inning of relief as Andrew Garcia threw a masterpiece today. The 0-1. Swung on. Right, shallow right field. JT Mix is there for out number 1.
Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 32, Jake Jelly.
Jake Jelly, the only man to reach twice in today's game. He had a single back in the second and a walk in the 7th. That walk ended the consecutive batters retired streak for Andrew Garcia. He retired 16 straight. He takes the first pitch from Santangelo deep into center field. Forte makes the grab at the warning track. 2 away here in the bottom of the 9th.
Batting fifth, the third baseman, number 25, Dean
Bittner steps up to the plate with 2 outs, and Dalo Santangelo has pitched 3 pitches this inning. Bittner, his walk back in the second. He's one of 3 to reach base today. His walk was the last base runner allowed before the 16 who were retired. Fastball, low and away, ball 1. Whiskey Jacks have a long way to rally back if they want to come back and make this competitive. It's 8-0 Sunfish with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Fastball hits the inside corner, 1-1. As Bittner asked the ump, is that just on the inside? He said, yeah. Swung on and missed by Bittner. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs from Kraft Field. Santangelo shakes one off from Tibbetts. He looks in, fires, high and inside, count even at 2. The 2-2 from Santangelo. Sets, delivers, inside again, count now full. Full count, 2 outs, and Dalo Santangelo. The payoff pitch. Swung on, driven into right center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. The 4th hit of the game for the Whiskey Jacks, and Dean Bittner reaches base for the 2nd time. He now joins Jake Jelly as the only Whiskey Jacks with that honor tonight.
Number 7,
And Dean Bittner looking to keep this game alive for Wheat City as Nolan Drill, who he's one of the other 4 hits in today's game. Steps up. Swung on and missed. Drill, 1 for 3 with a single back in the 7th. He drove Jelly over to third. 4 hits, no errors by the Sunfish. The 0-1 swung on and missed again by Drill. Bittner at first. He's not taking a lead. I don't think he's going to risk being the 3rd out. Thrown at second. No need to steal here when you're down by 8. No balls, 2 strikes. Santangelo checks at first. Delivers. Swung on and missed, and there it is! The Sioux Falls Sunfish win their first game in franchise history. Zeph Hoffpower comes and congratulates Santangelo at the mound. The rest of the team flows out of the dugout. An 8-0 victory for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, and they make history tonight, winning their first game in franchise history.
Please drive home safely.
Andrew Garcia gets the win. Griffin Sheeran gets the loss for the Whiskey Jacks. And what a game by the Sunfish. Twice this season they've allowed 14 runs. Last night was one of them, 14-5. They left 8 stranded, last night. But tonight, they cross 8 off 13 hits. No errors for the Sunfish. And for the Whiskey Jacks, no runs, 4 hits, no errors, and a few left on base, 5 to be exact. And what a game for Sioux Falls. Andrew Garcia gets the win after pitching a dime. He was wheeling and dealing, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, a Sunfish high 9 strikeouts today, and in relief, Andalo Santangelo, the newbie. 2 innings pitched of relief. He just allowed 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout in 8 batters faced. Andrew Garcia, the story tonight, retired 16 straight. And what a game for Sioux Falls in this Game 2 of this 3-game series. The bats were hot. It was 2 who crossed in the first. Cade Kalehuavehi, who reached on an E5. He was driven in by Benito Garcia's double. Garcia driven in by Hoffpower with a single of his own. They took an early 2-0 lead. And, of course, Andrew Garcia didn't allow a run at all for those next 5 innings. The Sunfish couldn't find the plate either. But in the top of the 6th, the bats got hot. 6 runs off 6 hits, no errors, with only allowing 1 to be left on base. Tonight, the total left on base for the Sunfish, that's 3, 6, 8, 9, 10, 13. So still an absurd number left on base. That's actually a season high, 13 left on base. But it doesn't matter. Sioux Falls takes the 8-0 victory as we head into the series finale tomorrow from Grand Forks. Once again, 8 runs off 13 hits, no errors, 13 left on base for the Sioux Falls Sunfish for the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. 5 left on base, no runs, 4 hits, no errors. We end at 9:57 tonight. So about 2 hours and 54 minutes, your final time. Again, winning pitcher Andrew Garcia, losing pitcher Griffin Sheeran. On the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks live stream, I'm David Coyer. We'll see you again tomorrow, a 7:05 first pitch from Kraft Field for the series finale between the Sioux Falls Sunfish and the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. The Sunfish now move to 1-5. The Whiskey Jacks fall to 4-3. We'll see you tomorrow night, folks. Have a good night.